everyone. So today we're going to do a viewer request chicken parmesan, and I did a test batch off camera to try and see if I could get it right to where I get a nice breaded chicken and freeze dry it and reconstitute it. And I think you are going to be very pleased with the results. So what I got here is I got 6 chicken breasts. I got some Progresso Italian style breadcrumbs. Of course we're going to have Parmesan cheese, and I just got the Kraft. I'm going lazy and doing the Kraft mozzarella cheese, pre-shredded. 1 pound box of spaghetti noodles. And I was gonna go all through the expense and the time-consuming process of making my own marinara sauce, but you know what? I like Prego, so that's what I eat. That's what I like. So I'm just gonna use the Prego jar of sauce, and we got a 67-ounce bottle of that. We're gonna use as much of that as we can because I want to try and get this all in one freeze dryer load. So I'm thinking we're going to make 3 2-serving dishes. So serve 6 servings, but we're going to break it up into 3 2 servings. That would be for me and my brother. Alright, first thing I'm going to do with this chicken is I'm going to remove any of this extra fat that they got on there, because we don't want fat in our freeze dryer if we can avoid it. Okay, we got that pretty much trimmed up. Now I'm going to beat, I got 4 eggs, so we're going to use 4 eggs. Give those a whisk. Alright, now we're going to be using an air fryer, so I'm not going to put no flour on the chicken because I don't want to taste the flour in my reconstituted uncooked flour. And when I did my test batch, all I did was use breadcrumbs, and it came out nice. So that's about a cup of the Italian breadcrumbs. Let me open this one first, see what we got. I got another open jar here. And about a cup of Parmesan cheese. And we'll give that a good mix. Alright, let's make some room here. Alright, so all I'm going to do is take the chicken, put it in my egg wash, and into my bread crumbs, and we're going to make sure everything gets well coated in all the little nooks and crannies. Put it on my plate. Okay, there we have them all breaded up. Let me get this all cleared away. Okay, so in my Ninja Foodie, we are going to use the Air Crisp. Well, let's load it up. Let's see how many we can get. I'm using the little basket that comes with it. Hopefully I can get 3 of them in there. Yeah. Alright, shut lid. 390 degrees for 20 minutes. We're going to press start. Now halfway through we'll stop this and turn those over. So I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, we are coming up on 10 minutes. So we're going to open that up and give them a flip. Now on the thickest part of this breast, you want it to be an internal temperature of 165. We got a ways to go. Right now it's about 144. So we'll shut the lid and I'll see you in another 10 minutes. Okay, we're almost there. It'll be the first full 20 minutes. We'll test it and see what it looks like. Let's give that a jab. Oops. I'll turn it on. That's 174. 166. 166. Perfect. Now let's take those out. Let's get these next ones in there. So while those are cooking up, what I did on my test batch, and it really worked well. See how thick that chicken breast is? I poked holes in it with my forks. Doesn't that chicken look good though? I think what that did was helped it reconstitute very well. And you saw that I drained most of that. Not drained, I trimmed off all the fat, but we still ended up with some coming out. So we're just going to salt that up. It's a shame because that's all good flavor, but we don't want to freeze dry that. Alright. So, when that's done, I'll take them put them in the freezer so they're frozen solid, and they'll be going in the freeze dryer just like that. I will prepare my noodles. We'll get back to you on that in a second here. Okay, don't mind that. I had a couple extra breasts that I wanted to go ahead and fry up that came in that package. So now what we have here is we got 3 tins that we're eventually going to package in, and I've cooked up some spaghetti noodles, that whole 1 pound package. Don't know if I'll use it all. And I cooked that al dente. You definitely only want to cook that al dente because we are going to, once we reconstitute this, bake it again. We're going to bake it, so you don't want to put too much in there. I mean, you don't want it too cooked. or else you have soggy noodles. So I'm just going to put a bed of spaghetti in there, and each one, kind of even them out. All right. Now the reason I put these in the trays here is because I'm going to freeze that in the trays. That way they're going to come out the perfect size to package in these trays. So I'll freeze these till they're frozen solid. Then I'll pop them out of these trays and put them on my Harvest Right trays for the freeze dryer. So that's that step. I'll get these in the freezer. Give it a little spread out. These half trays will be perfect. That way I'll know. I mean, we're going to powderize this anyway, or somewhat powderize it. But we know we pretty much got it even there for 3 servings. All right, into the freezer these go, and they'll be going in the next load as well. Only thing left for me to do is my mozzarella cheese. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once my noodles are trayed up, there's a lot of space around the noodles, so I'm going to spread these out on the trays with the noodles just to get this freeze dried as well. So there you have it. Next time you see all this, it'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. Okay, there we have it, our chicken parmesan. Now I've got something going on with my freeze dryer. We're halfway through my final dry. My heaters are turning off. So I got to get that looked at. But we got here in the end, and that's what I knew was going to take so long. We got there in the end. So first thing I'm going to do is package my tomato sauce. So by crushing that with a rolling pin in a freezer bag, when we go to reconstitute it, it makes it much easier. That's the tomato sauce done for now. Now if you remember, on these noodles, we froze them in the pan, so they should fit right in the bottom of the pan now. Perfectly. Which of course, they do. There's 2. Ooh, I had 3. And 3. Now I want to check out these breasts. Those are nice. Nice and light too. I'm going to put 2 breasts in each tray. Okay, and what I'm left here is my cheese that we kind of spread out, so we need to kind of get that into 3 equal portions. I just spread that wherever I had a gap, not like that. And let's get those envelopes. I'm thinking I can get away with these smaller ones. I don't know though. Might have to go bigger with these. Let's see. we'll go with the bigger ones. Tell you what, rather than waste those bags, I'm going to go with Ziploc bags. Do like that, not zip it all the way shut. Let's see if we can't fit that in there. Yep, perfect. Just like that. Definitely saves some space on that. And that breast fell apart. That's the one I checked to make sure it was dry. Alright. Let's get this cleaned up and we will start doing some sealing. First thing I need to do is make 3 bags to vacuum seal those in. So I got some 300cc O2 absorbers. I'm going to drop one in there, put on the lid, slide it in one of these bags. Like so. I made that too big. And I've laid my scissors somewhere and I can't find them. So let's see if we can cut it with this. Just down to size a little bit. Put it in my vacuum sealer. Make sure it's in there good. Press start. So when I'm vacuuming these, I watch to see when it starts to crush the pan, and then I automatically switch to the seal. So you interrupt the vacuum if you want on that. These trays are pretty neat from Amazon. I do have them linked in my store. They're great because we end up cooking in the same tray. So everything you need is going to be right there. Okay. And this was our sauce. So let's go ahead and put the same thing, a 300cc in there. I'll just Ziploc that shut for now. Alright, then we'll put a heat seal on that. Alright, so now we got one more thing to do. Need to swap that out for the foil. And let's try not to get too much out of this time. So 3 from the end. And we'll do 1 just to make sure that that'll fit. This foil is pretty expensive, so I don't like to waste too much of it if I can. So we're going to put this in here. I don't know if you can tell, this foil is probably about 4 mil. And I like to throw an extra O2 in there in case something gets a leak. And then we're going to put our sauce in there. All like that. And do a vacuum seal. Now by putting a double bag like that, any sharp edges shouldn't poke through, so that's what we're looking for. I just like to can't be too careful. One last thing to do is put my O2 absorbers away. Get those vacuum sealed. Now this is the VacMaster Pro 380, which I don't think they make anymore. It's a 16-inch wide. They make a 360, and it's got the attachment that you can use the food saver port on it, which works great. So press the accessories, suck that air out. There you go. Those will be good for next time. Let me get this all cleared up. It's late at night, Saturday night, so I'll get these labeled up and we'll do a taste test tomorrow, probably for lunch. I'll see you then. Okay. It is Sunday brunch time. So let's get this going so I can get this video uploaded today sometime. So here's my chicken parmesan. I got my oven preheating to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. There's our tomato sauce, which we're going to set off to the side. My O2 absorber. And our gorgeously light chicken parmesan. So let's open this sucker up. Take the little tube absorber out. Take our cheese out. Spread our chicken out a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to add water to this until the noodles are covered and it's just starting to touch that chicken. The temptation is to try to improve this from my test batch, but the test batch came out so well that I'm not going to mess with it. I'm sure others will have better ideas, but this worked for me when I did my test batch, so I just don't want to tempt success. That's 2 cups, but it's just not there yet. So I'm going to say 3 cups of water is what I'm going to add to that. Let me get some foil. And let's cover this up. Alright, so I'm going to stick this in the oven for 45 minutes, but at 30 minutes we're going to check it. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay, we've had that in the oven for 30 minutes at 450 degrees. Let's see how she's getting along. First thing I want to do is check the temperature of my chicken. Okay, chicken's well done, ready to go. It's 180 degrees. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain off as much of that water as I can. Now we don't want to spill the noodles out, so we're not going to get all the water out. But we'll get a majority of it out. Okay, like that. Now, what I'm going to do with that water, which you can see has a lot of flavor in it, we're going to use that to reconstitute our tomato sauce, our marinara sauce. And I could do it right in the pouch, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do it in a cup so we can see the consistency that we're getting. Now that is still a little bit thick, so we're going to add some more water to that. Alright, so basically just add as much water as you want to get it to the consistency you want. I got it kind of thick. And I'm going to lift this up and kind of put some marinara underneath that. Same with that breast. Then we're going to pour the rest all over the top. Kind of around the edges, covering the noodles. And boy, this is smelling good already. Alright, last thing to do is take our freeze-dried mozzarella cheese and sprinkle that all over the top. Making sure we get a good coating on the chicken. And anything around the edges is bonus. Alright, so we'll put our foil back on that. I'm going to squeeze that down just a little bit, try and keep my foil off of it as much as possible. We're going to pop this back in the oven for 15 minutes, and we'll check it then. So I'll see you in 15 minutes. Okay, so that's been in another 15 minutes. Now I should warn you before we pop the lid on this, when I did that test batch, I used fresh mozzarella. I didn't use freeze-dried mozzarella. So I don't know how the mozzarella is going to turn out. So let's have a peek and see. Well, it turned brown. Oh well. That's because it probably baked before it rehydrated. Some of it didn't. off. Which kind of made them chewy. So I think, just looking at that, if you can see the disappointment on my face, it'd be there. I think I should have probably, while this was cooking for the 45 minutes, poured some water in with my mozzarella cheese and started rehydrating that. So if you do this recipe, then I would suggest doing just that. When you first put it in the oven for the first 30 minutes of the 45, go ahead and add water to your mozzarella cheese in the Ziploc bag. Just let it start soaking up some of that water, and that wouldn't have happened, I'm sure. But check that out. So let me get this off of there, and we'll get a thumbnail going. We'll get a plate and dish some of that up. Okay. Make sure we get a chicken breast on there. Clean that up a little bit. Well, what do you guys think? Does that look good or what? Now, if this chicken performed as well as my test batch, watch this. See how that breaks apart and how tender that is? Tender and juicy. Look at that. That thick breast rehydrated just so beautifully. Let's take a nice taste test. That is very, very good. A little bit disappointed in my mozzarella, but trust me by saying that if you put that mozzarella in water while you're first baking it, it's going to make all the difference in the world. It don't taste bad now, but the mozzarella is just kind of chewy. That is good though. Chicken Parmesan, freeze dried. Trying to eat this standing up. There you go. Another success from John and Bibbs, and I think it's Petite Prepper suggested this, and I thank you for the suggestion. I'm glad you did. I'm glad I tried it. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and hopefully you'll try this one. I'll see you next time.